Thank you so much for joining me today. And today I'm going to share with you. Yeah. Today I'm going to share with you the news. The first one is cointelegraph.com. This in this page, the article title is "Entrepreneurs Must Learn to Tackle Business Risk in the Metaverse." Okay, so in this article, it talks about yeah, because everything is in virtual space. So there are a lot of things that if you want to start a business inside Metaverse, there will be a lot of things to consider. For example, like a physical hardware risks, because um, just think about you add another z axis inside the 2D space, and there are a lot of stuff to render, to sync, to animate, to all the data points need to move really fluently, right? So a lot of yeah, the computer power need to multiply 10 times, 100 times, like, need to be super powerful in order to sustain this types of high transformation, like high frequency or high speed transformation of the data or syncing data. So I think the first one, physical hardware risks, means that how can we have, more powerful, but also help, reduce the cyber risk, right? Uh, and also risk in cryptocurrency assets. So pretty much cryptocurrency might be the only way to secure or make sure the digital assets has its value by limited the the numbers, make it rare so it can have some value, right? Because digital stuff you can always copy multiple times, but if you have cryptocurrency, like if you have blockchain and encrypted the asset, then that asset, because of smart contract, it will has its own value as the unique thing inside the digital world. However, for example, if someone lost the wallet, right, and there's no way you can track back, and if you secure something and there's always a hacker later on while hacking. So I mean, I know it takes a quantum computer to do it, but what if later on everyone's computer becomes quantum computer, right? Pretty soon, right? So it's very interesting to see, like, yeah, the risk inside this. And I really like this chart of building a metaverse. It has world map, discovery, right? Just think inside the entire metaverse, you need to have a physical locate digital twin locations in virtual space, and you need to discover the things that you want. You need to do the regulation, authorizing transactions, and real-time platform infrastructure, devices, apps, patterns, sensing, assets, and data stand alone. And yeah, and all those stuff. And I can see, like, Apple actually had a lot of them, right? Yeah, I believe Apple will start something, because when I see this metaverse, right, almost everything Apple has. So yeah, I mean, all the big companies will be, I don't know, a lot of different bubbles, like multiple world, right? Because I think, or parallel world or something. I think the universe might be a lot in the future, the virtual places. And also, there will be identity risk, because just like previous, we said that we couldn't tell whether you are a good guy or bad guy just by um, looking at your avatar, right? So I think this might also have the risk of, how to protect ourselves from the, you know, from the I from other people, and how can we prevent those, predators get into the metaverse and kind of harm our kids, or the entire social connectivities. So yeah, so any thoughts of this? How to take out the business?
I think that if you're going to have a metaverse business, you're going to need a metaverse lawyer as well.
Like who is the metaverse lawyer?
I don't think there are any right now. I think that's going to become a new specialty, but I think it is so shifty right now. Where everything stands from a legal standpoint. I don't know if metaverse lawyers can actually practice anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, if someone attacked somebody in metaverse, then can you sue that person? Or, it's like, or, if you want to have a mortgage in your property, in your real estate, yeah. And what if, you purchase a digital land and later on that company was gone?
Yeah, people are trying to sue Snoop Dogg right now because they bought Metaverse real estate on his island and they're not doing well. So,
Oh, really?
but my feeling is that this is a great article, but it's already happening. I just sent you the stuff on NVIDIA. I misspelled NVIDIA. I put it in the chat, and they actually have something called Omniverse, and it's for global warming and addressing health issues, and also they picked up the challenge, and they're challenging Intel and AMD and all these other chip companies to build new technologies that don't chew up so much electricity. Right here I'm working the company in Santa Cruz. Well, actually, I'm not working with them, but I'm admiring. They're using fluorescent light for hospitals to run devices, so that we're not drawing energy. So there's a whole lot of cool stuff going on in terms of the hardware supporting these. And crypto to me is like digital money. It's been around for a long time. Anybody and the gamers, they have their own little game coins. My kids play these take my Android phone and put the games on them, and they're buying these tokens. That's been around since the beginning of time. So it's all perceived value, but there is a whole lot of legal issues. But the technology is way ahead of the regulations, like I always say. But I think it's exciting. I think it can do a lot of good in creating new hospitals. They're doing it virtually without having to get 10,000 permits and then find out, oh no, we can't do it this way. So they're doing it with imaging, with graphics, figuring out how the air conditioning will work. Should we have a garden on the roof? All that kind of stuff. The new way of building hospitals.
Yeah. Just look at that. I feel excited. Oh, go ahead.
They're having their own challenges. NVIDIA is having their own challenges as well. Their stock has been under fire.
Yeah, because they're a Chinese company, the US government is saying you cannot do this, that, and the other.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see. But the interesting, go ahead.
But they build everything from chips to AI software. They're not like Intel doesn't really build that much AI software. They have some for operations so that their bus networks and their memory chips work better. But NVIDIA, that's why I put this link up here. So just get an idea. Even if you don't attend the event, just sign up so you can get the summaries and the links. But I think Meta and NVIDIA, all of these, they're raising the bar. So we just keep an eye on it and pick and choose what we can use.
Well, another thing is that Apple's computers with their M1 and M2 chips and with their phones, all those processors have an AI processor in them to do machine learning. So I think as time goes on, that's going to play more and more of a role. For example, in image enhancement, they're already using that in the selfie camera on the iPhone 14 to improve the image quality. I think that will take on more and more of a role as time goes on. Now, Intel, as far as I know, doesn't do anything like that. And as far as I know, well, Apple just moved down to a 4-nanometer process for the iPhone 14 processor, the A16. And Intel is still stuck at 10 nanometers, I believe.
I think there's a news which is very interesting. I think we need to talk about it because I do see a lot of good directions through Roblox in Metaverse. Okay, so this news is on WashingtonPost.com, and the title is called "Roblox Wants to Advise to Gamers Age 13 and Up in the Metaverse." Okay, so pretty much they want to start to chart. I mean, it's already there, but last year they said that 54% were under age of 13, but notes that about 90% of the developers, they kind of have 1,000 games earned by people purchase by the age of 18 or above. So it's very interesting to see that a company start talking on the kids online multiple game hangout place and become a place that growing, and they reach out to the older age, and also they start doing something that is like a metaverse. And the first thing is that they want to integrate with the voice comment. If someone say anything bad or something, they will kind of use AI to censor it. And also you can switch your voice, the tone of the voice. And the other thing is that they are doing some memoji, which plan to add some facial animation features. The avatar can change expressions according to your actually facial expression. So I think this is something which is very cool. So you see the gaming platform has also rolling out a special voice feature, offered by Meta. So I think this is a very interesting place, and not only just for kids, because for kids, we all know that we want to make sure kids are safe, the data can be saved, and it's so hard to tell whether that person is a good person or bad person inside. What if, bad person sneak into Roblox and pretend they're kids, right? So yeah, so this is a very interesting place. And just like, Jim said that maybe we need a metaverse lawyer, right? I think since the hardware is software still evolving, and I don't really know when can be this done. And yeah, one thing is that Roblox requires user to verify their age, 13 or older, to use the voice chat feature by submitting the government ID and verify their phone number. So yeah, government right now is still have some impacts right now. In the future, I feel like government's power will be eliminated or
Is
be
there such an ID? Is there such an ID for kids?
government ID. I don't know. Maybe
I've never
birth
heard of that.
certificates.
Birth certificate.
I
But
don't
that can all
know.
be faked.
13 or older, maybe drive license, but the pre one, or your credit card. I don't know. Yeah.
But I'm sort of curious, Dom. You're in the midst of all this stuff. What do you think about the future of photorealism in the metaverse? I mean, this is something that sort of hits me in the face when I look at things like Roblox.
I would think, Elon Musk said that this world that we live in has a high chance that it's a high simulation. So
We all live in the
if
Matrix.
we are doing the simulation within the simulation, that's absolutely possible, right? We are in the dream of dreams. So yeah, so that would be possible. And according to the speed of how our technology evolve, definitely it is possible. And maybe we just live, from movies to movies. It's like you are living in Netflix and you can jump into the next movie and you're physically there.
We already have it sort of in terms of video games.
Yeah.
I would think, shouldn't we have it everywhere in the metaverse as well?
Do you like to play games all the time? I
No,
wonder.
I don't really. I like the visuals.
Mm,
I'm very much into visuals. So
mm,
in fact, I tried out, you had mentioned last week some
Mm.
of that AI software to generate images,
mhm,
and I've been trying out some of that stuff, and
mm.
with mostly disappointment. But
Mm.
I did notice one thing, that
Mm.
image that you showed that won a contest,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen similar elements in some of the other images. And I wonder
Oh.
if people use these AI programs to
Mm.
generate images, maybe we're going to start to see a lot of duplicate information popping up. And people will say,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I know which program they used to generate that image because I've seen that
Yeah.
circular viewport sort of like appear in a bunch of other images before.
Yeah, yeah. For example, like I would think that because when I see the website, right, I saw it's using code, and
Yeah,
code specific words represent specific setting, and the setting is all set.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a library, right? You reference that library, right?
yeah,
And so the code is fixed. So that's why if some people use a certain of library, it's like a stock photo, right? It's a set. You can definitely use, photography, but I would say this is like an interrupt, take a knowledge, and all the skills need to be involving. It's not like, oh, I learned how to do the photography and I can live forever using the skills. It's always there's something to learn. And
yeah,
I can tell you my background is fine art. I was doing charcoal oil painting, and look at right now, you use iPhone or Instagram and do some filter stuff, you can do, pretty nice sketching or oil painting
yeah,
effects. So yeah, so I would say this is inevitable. All the stuff, I think how you use it might make sense. For example, you can decorate your super luxurious house, right? Or I don't know, or teaching photography inside Metaverse. It's like a nasty. I don't know. It's interesting to see how we can use those. But I would say that if we can use it in a good way, because when I see NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, all their topics are very practical, which I kind of like it because I think games, sometimes if you keep doing games, it's just really boring because once you know all the game mechanics, right? You always want to go to the next step, and there's always a trigger want you to go to do more, to play to earn, right? To play to win, right? Yeah, so it feels like there's a certain formula for games. For me, I think life is the multiple stuff, right? We can have the time that we don't need to play anything. We don't need to compete. We don't need to show, right? We want to have our personal space. We want to read, right? Something really boring and just a bunch of tests, and we feel happy. And we want to, interact with people. We want to, just drive on the highway and listening to the music and drive to San Diego and drive back, right? It's like sometimes I think if you want to meditate, you drive on the highway and there's no one and just drive all the way to somewhere and drive back. Yeah, so we all need all different kinds of interaction. If we only limit it to the headset and then that world, it feels like our physical body couldn't be. I mean, I know there will be some device, but yeah, I think that this real world still has a lot of stuff to explore. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it will come together. Yeah, maybe in the future we can go to Mars or somewhere. The travel means that we go to different planet or solar system. It might be cool.
This is ET. I put a link in there for the new California legislation. So again, this is you're talking about how we're going to protect I mean, we could spend hours and hours and there's debates. I spent probably half of my week in these forums and working with the Open Voice Network and Women in Voice and others to move the bar, because like I said, I'm older, I'm not going to be around forever, but I want my grandkids to enjoy the fruits of technology, but also have the regulations and the guarantees that, they're not going to be scammed or they're not going to be kidnapped and all the other wonderful things that I worry about. But my point is that these young people are gamifying these industries. They're getting hired. You don't even need a college degree. You know, if you're a gamer, you're hired by the Department of Defense. You're hired by some foo-foo architecture firm in San Francisco, the Prince of Dubai, who's building a metaverse, you know.
Wow.
So Roblox is building an academy of programmers, you know.
Yeah, I can tell you
So,
in the
and so is
future.
NVIDIA. I am MEJ. You know, I created a different persona so that I could get free software from these companies. If I sign up as Emily from my company, I'll be lucky if I get anything. But if I say I'm a student and I'm interested in biomedical and all this, here, Emily, take this, come to this forum, you know, here's a discount for this class, blah, blah, blah. So this is the workforce, you know, the new skills. And yes, you have to learn math. Yes, you have to learn graphics. Yes, you learn languages, but they're creating global citizens, you know,
I
and
think
you're
something
expanding
else,
your world.
I think it's exciting. I think Roblox is doing something. I don't know. I think they are. So far, I haven't heard any really bad things from Roblox, and they are all kids. It's kind
No,
of
but the
impressive.
parents complain that the kids get too
Already.
addicted, that they don't want to play with their brothers and sisters. They only want to hack, you know.
You know what? The interesting thing is that how about that all the elementary school teacher teach in Roblox since they love the platform. I know some teachers, they do their class in
No,
Minecraft.
Roblox has a school, an academy just for the teachers so that they can do that.
Yeah,
you know,
I think this is great because
they have
kids
lessons
like
like
that.
the space launch that's going on and all that. They send them little templates and connections to videos at NASA,
Yeah,
so that they can learn astronomy and stuff like that. So
something
yeah.
else that this touches on is, you know, Biden just did this thing where he's forgiven a bunch of college loan debt. Why on earth is it so expensive to go to college when it,
Yeah, when all the teachers' course can be repeatable, right?
yes,
Yeah, yeah. So
The-
I'm yeah.
the marginal cost of adding a student online is almost zero. And so, these people that graduate from college, you know, with $100,000 in debt or more, it's
Yeah.
just becoming insane.
Yeah, I
So what
think
it's
the
gonna,
education system need to change.
to
yes,
get a medical degree now, it's over $1 million. You go to Stanford, you're not only paying for your class, but you have to pay for your residency, you have to pay for your housing and all
Oh
this.
my
So
God, yeah. If I
dollars.
can live
So
in
so so
Africa.
no, so people are getting their basic 2 years at Stanford and then going to Costa Rica or Mexico to finish medical school there. You know, it's obscene. It's totally obscene what we, you know,
Yeah,
and to me it's a racket. You know, nobody's getting rich off of that. There's
yeah.
somebody's siphoning money, you know, and but again, the online version of school, kids are already doing it since COVID. They go to regular school and then they have these hackathons or Roblox games.
Yeah.
So I think it's decentralization of education. But again, you need
Yeah.
qualified people and you need to know that kids are learning what they need to learn.
I feel really excited about all those stuff because, you know, this is what we need. We need to eliminate the best way to eliminate poverty, crime, right? All those bad, you know, even, you know, the predator, you know, all those bad things. The best way is to educate, right? So if we make our education super expensive, then think about that.
it
People,
really hurts society. Plus,
yeah,
when we make decisions like choosing political leaders and stuff, we're not as good at it if we're not very well educated.
yeah. So I think I read a book. I don't know what's the name. I forgot. It says that all the power in the past, it's, you know, monarchy, right? Yeah. So everything like the king says something like a few thousand years ago, something. But now you see, even right now, I saw the news that Queen in England just passed away, and they have kings. And today I read like a WSJ. It seems like a king that you know a lot of people in England, or you know, they start thinking about whether they need a monarchy or not, because do we really need a king, right? And their text, a lot of text is go to, you know, the royalty family, right? So is that a necessary? Maybe it's just a symbol. And I saw the entire, assets of the royalty family is shrinking, keep shrinking, and they have less and less power over, the territories. So yeah, so there's a book talks about the entire power will start from top and slowly going down. So everyone will have equally power, equally way of doing things. But I would say on the back of that, there will be an invisible cooperation. If it is in capitalist, right? That's cooperation. But if it is in communism, it will be the invisible, government or something to control the power. So it's interesting to see. You see, like education, once we democratize, right, education, then yeah, everyone has the equal thing to learn. And what if if we can put chips inside our brain without even time consuming, we can learn things, right? Then a lot of saying like, oh, you need to work hard, study hard. But what if you just need to click and put the information in? Yeah, so there will be a lot of things to rethink our philosophy and all
I
those.
think in a sense, we're seeing that transition in education happen right now.
Mm,
For example, Dom, you're earning money,
mm,
you're working,
mm.
and how do you learn something when you don't know what you need to know? You go online,
Google.
figure it out. And
Yeah. I
so
don't remember anything. I have a goldfish brand I can remember 6 seconds ago, but I can code something, and the way that I code is not just write it. I go Google and
Yeah.
copy and paste and do it and change some little things. I
Right,
know
so
the
you're not
principle, but
paying-
I couldn't remember anything.
you're not paying, you've got a college education, but you're not paying another $100,000.
Yeah, for computer
Learn how to do
science.
these
Yeah.
things.
The key is applications. I've hired brilliant Stanford students, and then I've hired some who were crying because some sales rep wouldn't return their call. I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I feel that as long as you can learn,
Mm.
work in a team, because you don't get to pick who you work with sometimes, but everybody has a value.
Mm.
You team player,
Mm.
and you can apply things. And when you
Yeah.
don't know something, you admit it. You don't
Mm.
fake it and destroy. You always have the weakest link. You have a program manager. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm tracking this, and this, and then you find out,
Yeah.
no, I never
Yeah.
got the permit, so we can't release this device, because we didn't pay for the FDA fee or some stupid thing like that, and it's like 3 years of work is in the toilet because of one glitch. So my point is that as long as people learn to apply things and work collaboratively and address, you can't. I used to get really upset working for big companies like Tandem Computers and Siemens, because they're very regimented. Everything is like by the book. And I'm a disruptor. I look for ways around it. And at first they try and fire me, and then they say, oh no, you were right. Tandem didn't want to do internet. Guess what? I was right.
Yeah. So yeah, very interesting topic.
You need to have these disruptors, and these kids in Roblox are learning how to create, are learning how to challenge, are learning how to apply. Those are the business leaders that we want.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
walk in a duck row and do what you're told.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And actually, we are going to have another event. So yeah, we will end here and hopefully see you all next Saturday. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Bye-bye.
Bye.